my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
They're here.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
It's showtime.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the VHS Strikes Back. I am one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to the VHS Strikes Back, the show where we dust off the old video player and go on a nostalgic journey to look at the good and the bad movies of yesteryear. Now, Chris, what are we going to review this week?
Well, Dave, considering you didn't emphasise the bad, and we're doing a movie that's...
I work really hard to not do anything there.
Considering it's at 0% on most review aggregator websites, even though it's at 4.5 on IMDb, it is my pick. I said last week, we're doing the trilogy, Dave. Maybe we should have done the Smokey and the Bandit, because we've done 1 and 3, we haven't done 2. But we've gone with, Dave, to close out the Cannonball Run Legacy trilogy. I don't know where to start with this. I did this, it's purely Year of the Stitch Up. It is readily available on YouTube, but it's called Speed Zone, if anybody's trying to find it, because that was the American name, Dave. But I know it as the 1989 John Candy, Eugene Levy movie, Cannonball Fever, Dave. And I remember watching it as a kid and thinking, oh my God, this is terrible. So what perfect way to stitch you up, Dave, for an hour and 34 minutes than to pick this movie this week. So had you even seen or heard of this one?
I hadn't heard of it. I didn't know this was a thing.
That's why it's not a bad thing, Dave.
Yeah, and my life was better for it, to be quite honest. So I love the first two. You know, we've covered the first two on air, haven't we? The second one didn't hold up as well as it did in my memory, but I remember, you know, playing these things on repeat. You know, I'm sure I must have copied it off either the TV or put the old sellotape on the blank tapes to tape it across or something. But yeah, those first two I just loved. And I when I was watching it, whenever we did it, was it a couple of years ago or something, I couldn't really remember exactly why I loved it so much, particularly the second one. Now, had I known this was around, I'd have definitely watched it. And I might even have enjoyed some of it. But Christ almighty, watching it now, I'm like, oh, what a massive attempted cash grab. And again, we've seen it so many times, haven't we, where clearly in the 80s and still into the 90s, they thought if you've got sequels, you know, a second and then a third, you're into diminishing returns. So the budget gets less. They pay less on writers, good writers at least, and things just get gradually worse typically. Now, again, it's all changed now, and you seem to have a franchise, and you know, your Marvels, your Fast and Furious and stuff like that. So they spend more and more money. But it's just interesting. You're just constantly reminded going back to these. And again, especially with, I wouldn't have known at the time who Eugene Levy was. I'd have probably watched it and thought, oh, that's a twat from Splash. But, you know, having John Candy in there and then old Max Headroom.
Yes, Matt Frew. Yeah. Generation X.
I was going to say Generation X as well. So there were lots of recognisable faces. Lee Van Cleef right at the start, making a bit of a cameo. Brooke Shields. So there's lots and lots of people in there that, had I have known that, you know, they were in there, I'd have been like, oh, this is going to be great, this. And my young heart would have been crushed, I'm sure.
You'd probably never watch another car movie again if this was the first you ever watched.
But yeah, what an interesting movie. But I mean, so you watched it and thought it wasn't very good, but I mean, have you ever seen it again?
Yes. So I think I've seen it about 3 times. I remember renting this probably early 90s and thinking, this is terrible. John Candy, you know, a bit of a fan as we were then. You know, Armed and Dangerous we've covered, and you know, obviously this year that this come out, he did Uncle Buck and another 2 cracking movies at the Great Outdoors in the same year. Then he did this. But I just remember then it was a poor movie. So when it comes to Year of the Stitch Up, I'm like, oh yes, we've got to have this in the back pocket. I've wanted to do it for a few years, but I was like, I haven't got the courage to pick it. And then possibly some of the movies we've picked this year, knowing that you would absolutely hate this. And we haven't spoke this week properly because of work and everything, and that. And I only messaged you like last night, going Cannonball Fever ? And you just thought, oh, how I laughed. I thought, oh, I've got him. Can't wait for today. So it was more to stick to you because watching it, oh my God, this is and before we even get into it, this is goddamn awful movie. Like, this is terrible. But yeah, I just couldn't wait to speak to you about it, Dave, honestly. And everyone else, like, obviously everyone listening, hopefully, you like I say, get on YouTube, Speed Zone, it's there. I'd love to know what people think. I'm sure in the Discord, I'm going to get some aggro, Dave, because this is a terrible movie.
Well, I might surprise you. But, Chris, should we get into our trailer?
Let's go.
In the late 80s, Hollywood was so out of ideas they decided to make a sequel to a sequel that no one liked in the first place. And so limping into existence came Cannonball Fever.
It's the third Cannonball film without Burt Reynolds, without Dom DeLuise, and without any of the fun.
Witness an all-star cast, and by all-star we mean all the stars whose phones hadn't been cut off yet.
They're disguises that wouldn't fool a Labrador, jokes so flat they make a pancake look three-dimensional, and mugging so broad it deserves its own postcode.
Experience car chases filmed at blistering speeds. Well, blistering if you're used to watching milk float races.
And don't worry about the plot, the filmmakers didn't have one. It disappears faster than your uncle at the bar when it's his round. I know plenty of uncles like that, Dave.
Featuring performances so wooden, you could sand them down and build an IKEA bookshelf.
Watch as international humour is attempted, then promptly left for dead on the hard shoulder. It's comedy so forced even Benny Hill would have said, nah, you're all right, lads.
This movie is full of stunts. They misspelled that. Thrill as cars jump over tiny speed bumps.
Cannonball Fever, the movie that asks, what if we remade Smokey the Bandit, or Without the Bandit, or the budget, or the script? Sounds like a third one, actually, Dave. Well, there you go.
Available now on VHS where it belongs. Usually found in a bargain bin wedged between Police Academy 7 and a Mr. Motivator workout tape. An assortment of people gather outside a countryside inn in preparation for the infamous Cannonball Run, an illegal 3-day cross-country race from Washington, D.C. to Santa Monica, where the winner and 5 runners-up will receive $1 million. Now, Chris, what do you reckon to the opening of this movie?
You know what? This is fucking terrible. So it starts with the red Lamborghini, which, Dave, bit of trivia, the driver is John Snyder, who is Mr. Bo Duke out of the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh.
That is actually his Lamborghini as well. So he's got the little tash and that, because he's also got the full Confederate flag jumpsuit on, which is a nod to the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
That was his car. So I love the Dukes of Hazzard. Like, as a kid, I still like watch bits of it on TikTok and stuff. And I do follow John Snyder, even though I think his political views have just fucked him right over, pardon my French these days. But he's got the Dukes of Hazzard car and all. So that little cameo, so you know me, I love a bit of a cameo, I love a bit of a callback. So we got that callback. He's called Donato in this, Dave, which is actually an error, because there's quite a few people in this who are unnamed and uncredited. There's a lot of people who spoke in this, didn't get paid, and they're just classed as extras. The ambulance driver, the camera guy who's with the film crew, he don't get any money. He's just classed as an extra, but he speaks quite a lot through the movie. So there's a bit of a conjecture there with the way people were actually paid if they made any money off this movie. But he starts off very familiar, very 80s. You can see it's a lower budget than the first and second one by a mile. Apparently a lot of this was filmed in Canada as well, but he's got that weird like Vaseline effect on the screen, hasn't it? I can't, when you know it's lower.
Sorry, that was excited about that Lamborghini.
I think it might be Wet Nurses 3, Dave, the fucking comeback. Where's my scalpel? But yeah, it's just so much low budget. But honestly, I don't think there is any joke in this movie that hit. They have stolen. When the police are on, they've stolen and they've ripped off the police academy riff, haven't they? So when that copper's on, the main police chief, there's like a police academy type feel. They've ripped off Smoking the Bandit, the original Cannonball, which we do see like John Candy's sat in that car thing, in the car park and that, and then he's showing the start of the Lamborghini. But I don't think like the car chases work, Dave. I don't know what it is, but I can watch the originals and enjoy it for what it is. And it's 10 years or 9 years before this. But this one feels more dated than them. And honestly, what was John Candy thinking coming into this movie? Eugene Levy's an absolute bellend in this movie, but my God, John Candy must have just took the money and run at this point, because it's a truly terrible movie, this.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you at all. Just going back to the Lamborghini, though, I would say in the 80s, I think my absolute top, probably two cars. You've got the classic sort of Porsche 911, flames down the side would top that off nicely. But the other one was the Lamborghini as well. I had a picture of it in my room, and I just, for me, that was the ultimate car that I ever wanted to own. It just looked so amazing. So I must admit, the car looked beautiful at the start. And again, you've got old Lee Van Cleef there. He's playing with whatever is his grandson or whatever. He's skimming stones, isn't he? And yet the Lamborghini does the skim across the water.
Oh, my God. That's terrible.
Again, I think the car looks great, and that is about as positive as I'm going to get. Because I don't know, it's like AI has written this. It's like we've fed, the first two movies, but the AI hasn't really understood what is the magic about the first two movies. What is it and like I say, the second one wasn't even that good either, but especially the first one. And without understanding what is the real magic about it, they've just missed on everything. I agree, there isn't a single joke in this that lands. Like literally nothing lands at all. But it's almost homaging the first two movies. You've got the car chase, obviously you've got the Cannonball Run itself, you've got similar characters, you've got the shake there at the start, you've got you've got two women who are, they've got 5 PhDs between them, but they, have to get themselves dressed up and end up with this bloke soaked up in the
Ferrari guy.
The Ferrari guy. There's all of these kind of things that they're trying to take from the first two, but none of it works. And I tell you what, I love John Candy in things like Home Alone. Obviously that was a year after this, wasn't it? They were both in Splash, weren't they, that I mentioned? So John Candy and Eugene Levy. So, and the thing is with John Candy, he's so likable, isn't he? In the characters that he plays. You mentioned Uncle Buck as well. And with this character, he's got nothing. There's no charm or anything at all. Like you say, Eugene Levy, he's playing that mustache twirling bellend, really. They're supposed to be mates from school, and he's got his bit on the side, the old Miss BMW or whatever, who speaks with a really breathy voice.
Marilyn Monroe is so annoying. It's so annoying.
It's really over the top all the time. And it's like you say, it goes on for ages and ages, doesn't it? And again, you've got all the different crews that you're sort of following, but all of them don't have any of the charm from the original movie. And it's just, this is one of the worst I've seen, I think.
As I've done my job. Thank you, Dave. No, but I think, I'm getting back to the Marilyn Monroe actress, Donna Dixon. I didn't realise she's Dan Aykroyd's missus, isn't she? So that's his missus. Okay. So it's the first time she'd been in like movie John Candy. But why? I kept thinking, I must be a different movie, but I kept thinking through this, there's a point where she puts a normal voice on. And honestly, I don't know what movie I've watched where someone's doing like a silly voice and then they become, a lady. She's like the lead actress in it, because she's like the lead with John Candy, really. Oh my God, it is terrible. I mean, like say, Eugene Levy meets him. He gets his BMW, which, to be honest, nice BM, but it's not super quick. It always pissed me off that he was driving a BMW. It's like, come on, it's not that quick. You've got Lamborghinis there and like the Ferrari. So the girl's Ferrari Daytona, the driving Dave, the black one that they get from the soapy, looks like Ron Jeremy guy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's like a fucking Timu Ron Jeremy. But that car is actually the same car that was used in Miami Vice. So he's quite iconic car. Everyone goes on about the white Ferrari Testarossa, but that Daytona is used in one of the cars that's used by Crockett and Tubbs as well in Miami Vice. So it's just little. I like the research of that, knowing these little things. And then we've watched movies, haven't we, where they recycle cars and they do different things. But you're right, like John Candy, his character, it don't make any sense. He's been sat as like a car valet for 15 years, probably. Eugene Levy's a bellend. He brings this Marilyn Monroe woman on, which then I'm thinking, are they transporting drugs? Because I forgot the story. Because that guy put something in the boot and he ends up giving him the rest. Because the idea is John Candy's not driving for him, but all the cannonballers get arrested the day before. And someone says, because I'm watching it going, they've not committed a crime. And then someone actually says there's a bit of dialogue, which does help sometimes. You're arresting them before they've actually committed a crime, chief. And he goes, yeah, a preemptive strike. And I'm like, I don't think that holds up in court, though, because you might...
A Minority Report.
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to get away with that. But that's the premise of it. The guy who plays the chief, he's absolutely terrible in it. You know, Peter Boyle, he's and he's been in loads of things, hasn't he, over the years? He's terrible in this. But I do think that when it starts, the race, and you watch the original one, like you say, Jamie Farr's in it, who plays the Sheikh, and he never wins a cannonball. He stumps up the money for the second one, doesn't he? Because he loses it. His dad, who looks younger than him, says, you need to do, he goes, I'll do the cannonball, I'll pay for myself. Which makes me, more than anything, I'll be honest with you, Dave, I want to watch the first two again. I've not watched them for ages, so I need to correct that. He then gets distracted by a girl, cliche, again, and then he decides he's not going to race in it, and that's the end of him. He's in it for like 5 minutes in the movie, pretty much. But you're right, I think like the car stuff is just terrible. When the race, and then you've got these weird brothers, these weird incestuous brothers who are loaded, and you get Brooke Shields as an air hostess. She's like, yeah, I don't want to be tight. I want my face to be noticed by people. So I don't want to be typecast as bit parts in movies, and they like doing an inside joke, going, oh, it's not all that bad. And they're almost like the brothers off Trading Places, aren't they? These like obnoxious brothers who start the race, decided to go on a plane to Vegas, they're in Vegas, sorry, to win. And the plane loses its wings because, cliche, Dave, there is a Asian fucking Arabic man who is now going to take the plane hostage, and Brooke Shields, and it's some of the worst jokes and dialogue I've ever seen. It's just like, and I watched this, look, because I've been on YouTube, I watched it in the gym, and I'm watching it, and I did 20 minutes on my bike, and I'm like, right, okay. And then I get onto the weights, and Dave, I had to sit there for 10 minutes watching this with me and my jaw on the floor. Then I'm like, I've got to watch this on the big screen. This is even worse than I remember, because you said earlier about the jokes. Everything is like things we've seen before, like, you know, someone gets dunked in water. We've seen that in like Smokey and the Bandit. That they literally steal stuff from most Burt Reynolds movies and the Cannonball Run, like say, and he's not just Burt Reynolds, but everything, the cliche cops. Oh, honestly, it is fucking awful. The accents people are putting on supposed to be Italian Ferrari drivers. It is literally like when we did the adaptation of Indiana Jones. It's like a lot of people have got together and go, you've all got fast cars, can we meet? We're making a bit of a Cannonball Run movie, you know, a bit of a fan-made movie. It is absolutely terrible, this movie.
I no disagreement at all. I think, like I say, it's just seemingly written and put together, directed by someone who doesn't really have any humor or comedy knowledge about them at all, and you're just looking at it. So I'm just looking. So Jim Drake apparently is the person who did it. Also did Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol.
Oh, classic, Dave. That's a bad movie as well.
Exactly. So, what is it called? Hit ratio or batting average? That's what I was thinking. Is not great. But yeah, I think just like I say, everything goes badly. You mentioned about Peter Boyle, of course. One of the films I keep coming back to. I'm not going to choose it this year, but at some point we'll do Young Frankenstein. And he played Frankenstein in that one. So, he was good in that one. But yeah, definitely not good in this. And he is just playing Lieutenant Lassard, isn't he? That's sort of what he's trying to be there. And I couldn't work out, with I'm trying to think what his name is now. What's the guy like Max Headroom?
Matt Freya.
Matt Freya, yeah.
No, it's Freya.
Yeah. So, like him, he's there getting, he's going to get hit, So the guy is like taking off his belt, and then they just, in a very clumsy way, end up in the men's toilets. And, he's on his knees, like, sort of strangling him. And I'm like, it's got a postage stamp on it. You can see this gag coming a mile off. And you get the guy in the men's room, like, ooh, I'm like, fucking hell. I'm sure whoever put this together was thinking, oh, this would be really funny, won't it? It's just really not. No, I and that's it. There are so many recognisable faces. They must have known they were onto a fucking turkey here.
Oh, they must have. I mean, you do see actors and actresses say, like, I've not even watched that movie. I've took the money and run, like, sort of thing. So I think they do a lot of movies and just it's purely a money thing. Because I'm with you, like, there's no end credit jokes like the original Cannonball Run with Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise. They are absolutely legendary. I can watch them end credits even now. I've watched them hundreds of times. There's just nothing hitting. I mean, Matt Frew, we talked about him when we did Generation X because he was Jim Carrey before Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey, wasn't it? Because he is. You watch that Generation X and he's playing Jim Carrey, but you watch something like this in '89. Jim Carrey was sort of doing comedy stuff, wasn't he? Maybe Saturday Night Live or something like that. I don't know whether Jim Carrey's took inspiration from him, but it's pretty. There's something going on there because his character is a Jim Carrey character, like you say, the loan shark, the guy, and he's like when he starts like, what's weird? There's that weird bit where the Italian guy at the start when they all get arrested. And that cop goes past who does look like the T-1000 Robert Patrick.
He does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Even though it's before fucking Terminator 2. And I'm thinking,
maybe James Cameron watched this and thought, I know what we can do with that.
But it isn't it? It's Robert Patrick, and he like comes up to him, doesn't he? Walks past him as he's on the phone. And then at the start of the race, the Lamborghini, as he clocks in, he's fucking bunny hopping, he's rabbit jumping, he's gone, and he goes, move over. And I'm like, is he the Terminator as well? What the fuck's going on? And then this random cop is now his co-fucking driver. And that is just, there's no understanding about that, is there? There's no, like, reason why this cop from nowhere has just got into the Lamborghini. And honestly, I can't explain half of the stuff that goes on here. The Van Sloan brothers, as I said, I like the Trading Places bellends. They are so bad, aren't they? This upper class American fucking family.
I mean, you say upper class. I mean, you get the peanuts joke, don't you?
Oh my!
Would you like my penis?
Well, about 8 times he says it, doesn't he?
Well, I was just looking, Chris. So Mythbusters, they actually went through to see, could a Lamborghini skim across the water? And they proved that it couldn't. I could have saved your fucking episode there, lads.
Yeah. Easy.
And it gets even worse later on, doesn't it? With Matt Frewer and the mob guy. Like, it just gets ridiculous because they're going straight for this kind of toll bridge thing. and then just suddenly out of nowhere, it just takes off like it's fucking Superman or something.
It bunny hops, doesn't it? It's ridiculous. It's not like the man with the golden gun, which was a genuine actual gun where he did the whole flip thing and everything. Like, you know, he had to time that perfectly. It looks like a cartoon, doesn't it, when it does it? It just, Dave, that bit. And then I tell you what's worse, you say about Lee Van Cleef, the fucking kid, his grandson who's looking, he's like really upset because his granddad's done a skimmer and it's his Lamborghini. I'd be like, that is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And honestly, he is a terrible actor. My God, they've just dragged him. I don't know where they've got him from. He's not an actor at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't know. He's brilliant. Like, it's a brilliant movie to watch because it's so bad. Because you're literally watching it, like you've said, I think you hit the nail on the head. How has this been made? And how has anybody in good conscience tried to, in the editing suite, the director's gone, this is really funny. Friends for life. Oh, yeah, the Cannonball Run, they look like they're having a good time. They look like when they weren't on camera, everyone was just cracking the champers or the whiskey or having a drink at the bar. It looks like Dean Martin's character, he's basically pissed all the way through Cannonball Run. I reckon he probably was, Dave. We know Dino likes to drink, but I reckon he was probably the life and soul of it all. It is utterly ridiculous, this one. Absolutely. And I think maybe that's why they called it Speed Zone in America, because they were like, we don't want it to be known as the Cannonball Run III. It was Cannonball Fever, as it was known.
I think so. I mean, if you think about it, they've shot all of the individual scenes, and like you say, almost everyone is phoning it in, isn't it? Aren't they? So, I mean, Eugene Levy is sort of going for it in this unlikable prick character. And again, it's the sort of classic 80s thing, isn't it? Got this fucking, prestigious race that, illegal race, but prestigious all the same. And I need a driver. He's struggling for a driver. Oh, fucking the guy who I knew from school parked that car really well or something, therefore he's my driver. But I mean, the speed limit was 55 miles an hour back then, wasn't it? So yes. I think it changed in the late 90s, but it was 55 miles an hour, which I still can't really wrap my head around because that's so fucking slow. When I'm going on a motorway and, you get the fucking speed cameras come up and it's like, oh, there's works going on, so drop down to 50 miles an hour. It feels like I'm walking. It's so slow. And you think all of those long, straight American roads, God, it must have been frustrating if you were to stick to the speed limit. But John Candy's supposed to be there, bombing across America in his BMW, and yet a lorry constantly is behind him, wanting to bump him along. And it's like, how fucking slow are you going if a lorry is up your arse and trying to force you along the road there?
Exactly, because when... Again, though, Dave, it's another context of like, there is no context. He literally is not paying attention, almost like a throwback to Planes, Trains and Automobiles, that bit, wasn't it? He's having the cig and he's trying to get his hand between the legs because the cig's between the legs, and he's like, oh my God, come on, John Candy, you must have gone, oh, this isn't gonna hit this with the audience. And the hand gets stuck. It's very, that whole scene with Steve Martin, it was almost like a homage a couple of years earlier. But the truck turns round in record speed, Dave. He's carrying something, and this BMW is probably going over 100. But this truck is just bumping the arse off it, isn't it? And I'm like,
maybe
but then we never see it. Well, it could be, Dave. I mean, and again, that's another nod to Duel. We've never covered that yet. I've still got that in my back pocket, but I used to love that as a kid. But again, it happens for a few minutes, and that's it. We don't see any mention of it again, do we? It's just utterly ridiculous, this movie, because these things that you might have been invested in, thinking, well, where's the truck going to appear or something at the end of take the BMW out, but no, we don't. I mean, we get Leon Spinks when the Wally, the bloody the henchman guy, the debt collector, he starts pulling apart the Lamborghini, don't we? And Leon Spinks, the boxer, comes out and he's like, what's happened to my Lamborghini? And it was so obvious that they weren't in that Lamborghini that he was just ripping apart. Yeah. And then he comes at the end and he chins a police officer, which is bizarre. I don't know what's going on there, but there's these little Carl Lewis appears, I've been chasing you for 10
yeah,
miles.
yeah, in his full gear.
His full Olympic gear from the year before, the 88 Olympics. Because he ended up with gold, didn't he? Because Ben Johnson got fucking done for drugs. Carl Lewis ended up winning the gold in that one. He was second originally. So he's got his full gear on as well. Oh, honestly, Dave, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So, you mentioned about the scene, and it absolutely is. It's definitely taken from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, isn't it? But you've got the same key actor in Planes, Trains. You know, it's all about John Candy. You've got Steve Martin next to him, but he's just asleep, and it's all about John Candy's delivery. And you know, it's believable, kind of where he ends up with his hands sort of tied, and you're like, oh, fucking hell, because he's trying to get his jacket off, isn't he? And you're sort of going along with him, and it's sort of believable. It's not believable that you just, you know, you got this fucking stunning Miss BMW there, and, you know, you're just going to, rather than just tap her and say, sorry, just need to get that, you're just going to fucking reach between her legs. But the whole delivery of the scene, and I can only put it down to the director, you know, because it's the same actor, you know, and it's a similar kind of setup. So I've got to put it to the director that it was just put together in a horrible way, which I could watch that scene now, the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and laugh. But with this one, it was just awful. And yeah, just like the whole movie, just shit.
But there is bits in there, because like John Candy, you think, right, he's the biggest star here, he's the one. But these long stretches of the movie where he doesn't feature as well, isn't there? Like these like, they spend a lot of time on Matt Frewer's like character, you know, the whole loan shark thing, and he's like manipulating him, saying, right, I owe 50 grand. You get, he goes, I want 35. He goes, yeah, you get, and you have 15. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'll 35. You have 15. He goes, yeah. And I'm like, but none of it hits. It's like this situational comedy stuff, and you're spending too much on them. Like you say, the Police Commandant Lassard rip-off from Timu. He's fucking rubbish, Peter Boyle. Like, he's so bad. It's like, you know, the national anthem comes on when he's doing these big speech to all the police and that. And then, again, we're going to make sure that the roads are all blocked, so they go down one road, Dave. And then the plane comes through. The fucking plane. Nobody's bothered about this plane that's travelling hundreds of miles with all these people on. And that takes the roadblock out. And honestly, I even now, the fucking hairs on the back of my neck are getting fucking thinking, so I'm getting annoyed talking about it, because it's like, but this is my pick, and it's done its job. But again, it's just like, I have no emotion watching it. I'm not watching it going, oh, I can't wait for Dave. I'm not watching it annoyed. I'm just watching it going, how has this been made? How is this? And there's turkeys everywhere movies, isn't there? We know that. We've covered plenty of them. But this has got like a bigger budget than a lot of the bad movies, hasn't it? You know, like it had $3 million. $18 million. And he made 3 at the box office. Oh my God. That is terrible. That is terrible. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, what? I don't know. I mean, he's done what he says on the tin, David. It's a truly bad move. And even at the end, the whole thing to Santa Monica Pier, now that's a throwback, which we haven't watched. It's the David Carradine movie, Cannonball. That's where it actually ends, in Santa Monica Pier, whereas in the Burt Reynolds ones, it's just sea to shining sea, isn't it? It's sort of, it alluded Santa Monica, you never really see. It's like LA, really, more than anything. But, so there's a throwback there. But they're all just talking. And obviously, you know, Matt Frewer's character, he wins. So him and the loan shark are going to go into business. He's having a crisis of conscience, the loan shark. You know, Liam Spink comes and said before, he chins the police officer, the chief. And then we've got this whole, like, beat scene with John Candy and Eugene Levy, haven't we? And she's like, oh my God, I only met him 2 weeks ago. And then she goes back to John Candy, and that's like, they walk off. But John Candy's on the beach when it's about 100 degrees in a wool fucking jumper, Dave. It doesn't look that fucking cold. He must have been sweating his bollocks off there. He was fucking sunny and everything.
I don't know. I mean, it looked a bit... I think that probably was a bit colder. And it probably was a different pier or whatever. But I had Rocky III vibes. You know, where he's running against Apollo, and then, you know... he gives his whole, I'm afraid, all right?
Oh, yeah.
It just sort of reminded me of that. But it was just ridiculous, wasn't it? And some of the ham-fisted dialogue from Eugene Levy about, oh, well, you know, you got to put out and all this. You know, it's obviously he's married and, you know, this is just his attempted bit on the side. And you get John Candy's kind of redemption where he just chins him. But at no point in the movie have I cared about any of this. And so it all just kind of lands flat for me.
It does. I think they got a little bit out, as I said, with her voice. If she'd just gone to a normal voice, I'd have gone with that. I'd have gone right, and she like slaps Eugene Levy or like kisses John Candy or something. You know, one of them, because she's got this TV show, actually, this divorce court show that he's got her on. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing's redeemable about this one, Dave, and I'm so pleased that I made you watch it.
Get a proper like Kathleen Turner gravelly voice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's I think the problem for me is, you know, we love the bad movies as well. We love the Miami Connections, the Samurai Cop. We often mention as being one of the terrible ones. We've seen some this year, like Highlander 2, but they're memorable as well. I think, you know, we've had a laugh this morning going through this, but it's not really that memorable. As soon as we get onto the next movie next week, I'll have forgotten about all of this, I think. And I think that's the greatest crime. I mean, it's the same budget as the first movie.
I know.
It's bonkers, isn't it? What have they done is most of it snorted off the back of a toilet or whatever. I don't know where the budget went for this one, but yeah, just really dull, really not memorable at all.
No, not at all. So shall we get into our scores, Dave?
Let's go.
Right, Dave, I'm going to break rank on this slightly. I want to hear what you think of this, because I've been intrigued all week, because we've not really messaged each other. You know, as I say, we usually talk a few times a day. I was like, oh, is Dave annoyed at me? Is he like that fuming he's going to come in? And then when I messaged you, I thought, I can't wait till Saturday. I'm going to have to message you. I'll miss speaking to you. So I was like, well, Cannonball Fever.
So it was a deliberate tactic, because I did watch this early in the week, as I do. And I was like, the thing is, you know that this is shit. And I found out that it was really shit. Yeah. And I'm like, but I'm just going to keep that element of doubt in you. Just there to know if I thought this was really bad. But yeah, it is really bad. And like I say, it's not even the kind of so bad it's good movie where you can get enjoyment out of it. I'm just scratching my head through most of it. The fact that it's, you know, it's not got the HD touch up, it's on YouTube and no one gives a fuck. It's all you need to know, really. Although there are some good ones out there as well that no one cares about on YouTube. But yeah, this is terrible, and I can't believe the amount of people, the recognizable faces they've got in this, and all of them have zero charisma, nothing likable about them at all. The stunts, the car chases and everything just look substandard, and just I think that literally the best bit about the movie is just seeing that red Lamborghini right at the start, and that was it. It all got worse from there. So,
I can't argue.
For me, this is going to Alderaan. We've watched this so you don't have to if you're listening and got this far, but it is really terrible. It's not an enjoyable thing at all. Go and watch Troll 2 or something if you want to enjoy a bad movie. But yeah, this one's done its job, Chris. Fucking awful. Hated it. Alderaan it is.
Good work. So, Dave, I'm happy because I thought there might have been a switch out. For me, again, as much as I picked it, and I've had great fun like talking about it, trying to understand both of us, we're in the same ballpark of like, what the hell is this? Like, how have they made it? It is terrible. It is truly bad. And for John Candy, you know, God rest his soul, one of the greats, you know, absolutely a disgrace to cinema, this. And it's not just him in the movie, but he's the main one for me. Someone I loved as a kid watching, you know, I say, Plane Chasing Automobiles, one of my favourite movies. So absolutely sacrilege that he did this. But you can't always have a hit. But there's just rips everything off. Police Academy, Smoking the Bandit, Cannonball Run, some of the like buddy cop movies, some of the dialogue is so bad. It's not even so bad it's good, it's just bad. So I'm sending it to Alderaan Dave. This is a turkey of a movie. And the fact that it went straight to video, there isn't even a DVD release of this movie because they thought nobody would buy it, says it all really. So I've sort of done my job in the year of the stitch up. I haven't stitched myself up because it's just great talking about it, but my God, this is a shocker. So anyway, Dave, just before we go further, can you just bear in mind what I picked this week, because I do believe it's your pick next week. So I just want to know where. This is where I'm always at a disadvantage when we're doing this, because I know if I set you up, you're going to go, "Oh, really? Hold my beer." So what have you got for us, mate?
Well, again, I passed the halfway point in the year, aren't we? And Christ, it has been hard going this year, but brilliant as well, because we watched a lot of things that we wouldn't have watched. Our Patreons have picked and stuff as well, and reached down into the bottom of the used VHS bin, deep down at the bottom of the bin, to try and fish up some terrible movies. So I am going to go with a tactic this week, because I want to make sure our listeners, because I know a lot of people kind of watch along with us, so when they listen, they've got a fresh memory of what the movie was. And I was tempted to put in the calendar, but I haven't. The old Star Trek 3 Search for Spock.
Stop it. As soon as I see that, it drives me mad. I'm like, oh, fuck up, Dave.
But I wanted to pick a sci-fi movie that I enjoyed, that I think a lot of people out there will enjoy, but you will potentially hate. So this is going back to 1994. This spawned it spawned sequels, it spawned TV series, it stars Kurt Russell and James Spader, and it is Stargate.
Well, Dave, I might have seen this one.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. I did actually watch bits of the show. It used to be on Sky One as well, didn't it? I remember the start of it with the big, so you may have, we'll see. I won't say any more because I've watched it for years.
This is one of those things. It's like last week when United played Arsenal. I can't lose. Like, whatever the result is, I can't lose, because if you end up liking it, again, it's another nail in the coffin of Chris hates sci-fi.
How dare you? How dare you?
I haven't watched this for years, and so I'm genuinely interested as well, because I really liked it at the time when it came out. I haven't watched all of the TV shows and what have you, but I'm really intrigued to go back and watch this one.
Yeah, no, honestly, Dave, what a left field movie as well you've picked, because I've only ever seen it once, I think, years and years ago. So whether it holds up, I don't know. But it was quite a big thing around 94, wasn't it, as well? I think there was loads of PR, but I can't remember the reviews on it. So it'll be interesting. But the TV show, I did watch bits, so definitely on Sky One. So that's, oh no. I don't like the way you're laughing. But anyway, if you do want to support us, please go over to patreon.com/the VHS Strikes Back. If you want to follow us on social media at VHS Strikes Back. If you don't want to email us, the VHS Strikes Back at gmail.com. So the roll call of honour. And a big thank you to Nick, Greg, Gareth, Mike, Lee, Helen, Dylan, Dan, Justin, Susan, Tim, Matt, Hales, Ken, Lucky Lulu Green, Herbs, Jack, Math, Blake, John Hammond, and Mr. Tony Farina. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. Brilliant as always. I hope that every single one of you listening has hated Cannonball Fever, because it's such a great movie, or Speed Zone if you were from America. But no, I had to do it, and I don't know where Stargate's going to sit, Dave, whether it's going to be the year of the stitch-up or not, but I'm looking forward to this one, actually. Yeah.
No, I genuinely don't know myself. So, like I say, remember enjoying it at the time, but let's see that films from 94 or any of the ones we go back to don't always hold up the way you think they're going to do. But Chris, for our little musical number, we actually have two this week, don't we? Because you'd put one together for Cannonball Fever or Speed Zone, if you like. We're going to listen through on that one, and then I'll just stick mine at the end there as well. So this is, have you got a name for it?
Speed Zone, Dave. I went with the American abbreviation of the movie, so it's actually called the Speed Zone, Dave. We're not in the danger zone, we're in the Speed Zone.
Okay, so here we go. Oh, a nice bit of reverb on that guitar.
Oh, yeah. sort of a AC/DC Motley Crue type drum beat.
You know what? I can hear that snare drum as well, and I can almost. I'm imagining, you know, you hit the snare drum and the water comes up in the air.
80s.
Yeah.
Cannonball Fever, it's a wild, wild race. Pedal to the metal, gonna set the pace from LA to the East Coast line. Got a ragtop crew and the feeling fine.
David, they're so cliche, these songs, love it.
That's good, this one.
Good.
It's like the one I put together with Short Circuit.
Yes, yeah, that's true, actually.
Very Skid Row, Motley Crue, like you're saying.
Yeah. It's more a homage to the V8 engines, cars that I love.
Chasing after me, no rules, no limits, just the open road. Cannonball fever, yeah, I'm gonna explode. Red lights flashing, but I don't slow down. I'm a V8 rebel, tearing up the town. Jackie Chan's riding with a stud man's grin in this cannonball race. Man, we're gonna win from the bright lights to the finish line.
Hang about. Jackie Chan.
Yeah, you didn't listen. Hang on, no. It's a homage to all the Cannonball. It's the end of the trilogy.
Let's hit the zone. Cannonball fever, I'm bad to the bone. V8 power, I'm the king of the race. Cannonball forever, gonna set the pace.
That's proper 80s, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Dave, the thing is with that, he mentioned Jackie Chan because Jackie Chan was using a lot of the PR for this movie because he used the same car, hoping that he was going to be in it when they announced it, and he turned it down as well, Dave. So it all did a homage to the Cannonball Run trilogy in the end. But yeah, that's a proper 80s load of nonsense, that.
Very good, very good. And I'm sure 89, I'm sure that's where Skid Row's first album came out. I seem to remember it was around about that time. I had a copied cassette tape on my Sony Walkman. playing away. So that did actually take me right back to the right year there. And yeah, like I say, I'll play out mine. I went for a slightly different, bit more of a playful 2000s Who's Ears sort of thing. But we'll just play that one out. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks for inflicting this one on me. You see you next Tuesday. And thanks to all our listeners for persevering with us and listening to this, listening to us talk about this utter shit show. Thanks to all our supporters out there. We'll see you next week, and we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.
Candy, Levy, Dixon, boil the Brooke Shields, crashes, engines boil the Jamie Farr, still bizarre, Hamilton, a pony star, Mason joking, tired of smoking, box offices, badly broken, speed, the zone, franchise ball, no one's laughing, none at all. We didn't start Cannonball. It was Bird's creation, now a pale imitation. We didn't start Cannonball. Oh, the cars paraded, all the laughter stated. Critics hating, ratings fading, cable late night relegating, Ferraris spinning, limos winning, nothing new, just stunts and grinning, thought confusion, cheap illusion, rotten tomatoes, big exclusion, comedy, straight to soul, goodbye, Cannonball. We didn't start Cannonball. It was Bird's creation, now a pale imitation. We didn't start Cannonball. Oh, the cars paraded, all the laughter stated. Engines screaming, tires squealing, stars are crashing, no one's feeling, chase through cities, chaos reigns, explosions echo, nothing gains. We didn't start Cannonball. Though the cars paraded, all the laughter stated. Cannonball, oh Cannonball, franchises failing in free fall, crash and burn. Burn, baby, burn. Cannonball, oh Cannonball, first one to hit, best bird is shit. Crash and burn. Burn, baby, burn.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
We better get back, because it'll be dark back soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I'll be back.
That's a lie.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
Wax on, wax off.
Get to the chopper!
One ring to go.
All right. Ding, ding.
Bust you up. Go for it.
Well, here we go.
Ain't so bad, ain't so bad, ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing. Come on. You must be crazy or something. I'm crazy. You just a stupid fool.
Maybe
you crazy or something.
ain't breathing heavy.
He's a fool. He's stupid. I'll see you in 6 months.